Welcome to the beautiful YMCA of the Rockies and Estes Park. We're out here on the disc golf course, supported by the YMCA. A little late in the day, so I'm gonna try to get through this quick and just give you a preview of this place. I played it about a month ago in a tournament and played it blind, did pretty well. Had one of my highest rated rounds of the year, but I didn't really, a lot of the shots were blind, so I think I can play it better. Hopefully I can still remember some of the shots. So I'm gonna try to line you up here for hole one. We're gonna try to play fairly quickly because we're running low on time. It's 291. It is kind of straight up there. You can see it just beyond the last set of trees there. Kind of need to do, it's uphill. We're also at probably 8,000 or 9,000 feet up here in Estes Park. So hard to get flip. There's some space out to the left. It's a little hairy on the right side. So first throw of the day, I'm gonna go with the river here, and I'm gonna try to turn it just a little bit up into there. With the flip up, maybe come a little left of that big tree, maybe just inside of it here. See if we can't give ourselves a look. And even see, got the gap I wanted, but even the river won't turn up here. I'm playing with a very light bag here. We're running low on light, so trying to pack light, so we got a small bag. And let's see what we can do without my full tournament bag. I think I got most of the discs I need. Probably should have grabbed a flippy mid or a flippier fairway. I think when I threw this in the tourney, I threw an underworld to get it to actually turn. Gave myself a look, but didn't par it, or didn't birdie it. This is a pretty hard birdie to start off with. You have to just get that turn just right. And that 291 plays a lot further. So straight out the car, this is not the easiest of shots, but we're up here. So little pine tree in the way. It's a little more open to the right. It's a little short up shot here. Get it high enough to get around. Try not to hit some limbs. A little maximum tempo. A little easy up shot. Take our par to start off with. Get some glimpses of the light up here. Really pretty. We are gonna have to play a little fast because we are gonna run out of that light fairly soon. So we'll try to get through this as quick as we can. All right, starting off here with a decent look. So this is the only one of the first two holes that I kind of knew, but I knew it was a pretty hard birdie, so I wasn't too worried about it. On to the next one. All right, we got hole two. It's 252. Again, straight back there. You can kind of see it way back there. Try to get you out of the sunlight here. All right. Hole two at 252 also plays longer. But I think I'm going to go with the hex. Try to get a very subtle turn right in front of these trees on the left. And see if I can't get it to slightly stable out. Maybe even straight through this hole. Oh, that's a pulled it a little. Oh, and I caught a limb. I actually thought I was going to sneak through on the backside there, but caught a late limb. Unfortunate. The actual tournament. So I'm still. Basket's up behind this. I've got to go around. I either have to go through this straight gap or flip around it. But there's limbs in the way. the left side, so don't really want to risk the forehand. Just go straight, short little upshot through this little gap. Go! Heading up. This can be a long car. That was a terrible upshot. Oh boy, now it's bad. But first putt, second putt of the day. Go! Alright. Probably should have gone with the straddle. Okay, whoa, we're about to hit this. If I can get this sun out of the way. Okay, so the hole is kind of straight back there. It says it's 264, but I'm gonna go in a wide here, straighten you up just a little bit, because there's hardly any gap. I mean, you have to drill it, just the laser being straight. In the tournament, I went Spikeheiser, but at this Spikeheiser angle, that distance and slightly uphill, I did it with a fairway and I didn't really get close enough. So we're actually going to go a slightly flippy driver, see if I can't get this hyzer to carry a little bit, and see if we can't get ourselves a look here. There we go. Okay, so that we actually got up there. Might actually give ourselves a look. Yeah, you forget how much extra you need up here at this altitude, and throwing uphill as well. All right, we're kind of getting out into the valley just a little bit. We can get some nice views up here. And we're about to get the views of Rocky Mountain National Park up there. Might even get to see some elk today. Let's see where we landed up here. Ooh, we actually went a little deep and gave ourselves a look from the high side. Oh, I'm actually going to put you a little bit below pin here. And it is a hike up here, so if you're gonna play this, be in shape. Yeah, it's serious elevation. We're going up the hill. This is much better than I had in the tournament. I was way short. Randy gets too. Go. Nice putt. Alright, back to even. Got a birdie. See, that was just knowledge. The course helps a little bit. Knowing that my fairway on a spike isn't going to get there, so I actually threw this new Castaplex Vast, which is a driver, and just a little flip to it. Get you out there. Again, very straight ahead. You can kind of see it back straight. Back there. Go back to our normal zoom here for you. Okay, bladder is empty. All right. We're gonna try. This is a remixed Ronin that I wanted to try. I bought on Amazon. A little over stable 7-speed. I'm gonna try to flex it right up in that gap. Pull out. Park us near the pin. There we go. Solid. Let's go. I think that is basically a mint alpha, which is pretty much exactly what I want to try to throw. This was the line I tried a big hyzer. Just the trees are in the way. It plays for that flex. Getting into that gap, something that's stable enough up here that will pull out of it and get us a look maybe another birdie. All right. And this back corner of the course is one of like the most pretty spots on it, right? We get just an absolutely incredible view of Rocky Mountain National Park. You can take, the road goes just in front of this mountain right here, follows up, and there's various hikes and trails all up in here. And let's see if we can get a good backdrop here for the putt. Just on the edge of C1, just like we were trying to do. So, all right, so we got hole 5, par 3, 294. But this one is kind of downhill. Going back down the hill a little bit. There is kind of, I got a little bit baited into this in the tournament. The guy in front of me threw kind of a big hyzer, and I thought it would take out some of the danger of the straight route, but at the same time I didn't really like it. And I ended up, there's that big pine tree that's kind of right in the line on the right side, and there's also the power lines. I think I actually hit the power lines, and it just doesn't really set up that well for it. You can get the big angle, but at this distance it's just not consistent, and didn't, even getting through it the second time I tried it, I came out and practiced it after, and it didn't really get that close either. This is, hit the gap. I'm gonna go with the striker, this Opto striker that I just got. I've been wanting to try this driver. Not super overstable, very straight, and holds its line really well. Tends to come out at the end. Probably be fairly stable up here. So I'm gonna try to flex right in this gap, right toward the pin. It's down there on the left of those pines, past the first big one. Solid. Not enough flex. Not quite enough flex or height, but really solid line. Pretty happy with that line. And thankfully it was actually low enough when it flexed out. Oh, yep, we got caught in the sagebrush. We needed just a touch more flip, and we could have carried right along the path. Or more height. I might have switched into C1. Oh, I just don't have much of anything. Gonna have to try a bad putt lob putt here. I got the line and the angle right. It came back from my vision right on line with the bucket just deep. I thought for a second it was coming back into the bucket, but nope. We got an easy tap in though. It wasn't good. I'll take it. Now, hole 6, par 3, 279. It does slope way downhill, and a lot of obstacles on left and right. I think you need a very slight flex, something that'll hold and kind of finish at the end. Normally I throw an end beat here, but because of the downhill and because of the altitude, I think I'm actually going to throw my putting putter, my Rainmaker, so it'll actually kind of hold this very, very slight angle, because it drops off and there's a road there, which I believe the road be in the tournament. It is pretty easy to skip and go long. So, oh, I like that line, but it just wasn't high enough. That was not committed. That was a great line, just very, very uncommitted. Didn't really put any juice in it. Really thought I could glide down the hill a little bit, but if I had a little more air under it, I think it would be fine. Laid out. You might have read the rules for a different hole instead of this one. It said there was no B. I think I actually hit the tree behind it and went in the road. Ooh, 400 shot. A safe shot with the tempo. Testing that guy out. Feels very similar to my zone. Pretty overstable. Maybe not quite as overstable, but I figured up here it would probably feel a lot like my zone. Alright, well, bit of a sketchy putt downhill. That'll be it long. Not even halfway through yet. So here, now that I'm downhill and close, I like to lean a little more over it because I don't need to push. It keeps it a little flatter. Kind of a la Calvin. So, very similar hole here. Hole 7, 276. And down there, right down by the tree there. Very similar. Tapers off quite a bit. Fairly easy to kind of drift down that hill into the road and OB. Maybe I could go MB. I still think similar play to the Rainmaker. Plus the softness of it. I don't like to beat it up anymore, but the softness of it helps from skipping. And again, very slight left to right anhyzer, kind of in that gap, and let it slow fade down the hill. So this is a little touchy. You can't throw it too hard, but you do have to commit to it. Let's commit this time. Huh. Okay. All right, yeah, you can see as you get up closer here, we didn't quite commit to this. Thing dropped a little more than I thought it would, but you can see like how kind of barren and a bit steep it is up here. You can actually kind of go. You can skip into the road really easy. You're too overstable, too high. So, you know, this is the goodness. Commit to the anhyzer and into the hill. Hope you get the height right. Maybe we can make a long putt happen here. There's slight A. Oh no. Oh. Dang it. Thought I got it for a second, but kind of difficult to. I had to come under the branch, but I didn't want to give it too much air to float down the hill. Got the nice little anhyzer on it. Got it on line. Just didn't quite get into the turns. Alright, easy par. No big deal. No big deal. Yeah, pretty. So you can see, gettable, especially if you have good forehand. I think you could potentially flex something very overstable to get to those last two, and be a little safer than trying to kind of take this kind of more touchy backhand line. Hole 8, 246, and we are going to go straight up the hill. Got a little uphill, kind of got to hit a gap, and you got to not hit the wire. Uphill plays a lot longer. Do something that we push a little straight for a little bit longer. So we're going to go. We can probably get the envy there, but you get a little straighter at it with the next here. Should be right up the hill. It's higher up the hill than you think, and it plays a lot longer. It plays almost close to 300. That's kind of why I want to do that range here. Skip up. There we go. Oh, yeah, we are parked. Parked up. Yeah, this is kind of I feel like a must get. I mean, this going uphill on a short hole like this, you have nothing really to lose. Pretty hard to overshoot. Pretty hard to, just gotta hit that initial gap. I'm pretty good at hitting a straight gap, throwing it straight, flat. So those are pretty good in my wheelhouse. Good old Mazzottle gets me a lot of birdies. Okay, hole 9, 261, very downhill. You can see it tucked back behind that pine. This was another one that I just didn't quite know how to attack. What a gorgeous view up here for this. I ended up going because there was OB behind it. There's a lot of stuff in the way. I think the big flex forehand. There's an OB road on the right side. There's an OB road just behind it. It's a little V just behind the thing. There's pine trees all around the pin. Honestly, still don't really know how to attack it. I still think the grenade is the best safe play. It doesn't really quite get me. So I'm going to do a modified grenade. So instead of upside down, where it tends to go up and come straight back down like this, I do a modified grenade where I just put one finger, and it ends up being, with the throw motion, it just helps get the disc a little more vertical, and so I get a very, very steep hyzer. So this is kind of not exactly a grenade. This is just a very, very steep hyzer. I think that way I can maybe push it a little further than my grenade. My grenade was well short last time. So let's see if maybe this will actually kind of get us some more play down there. Oh, whoops, and I didn't get it enough. Oh boy, that's way down there. But I'll show you what I mean. That high hyzer, whereas if we do a grenade grip, I think the grenade is the play for me on this. It's kind of safe, I just can't get it there. I don't know how to push a grenade forward. So the only other play that I thought about using here was a flex forehand little jump. I can get a nice angle down there, something very overstable, nice overstable driver, which with my forehand power should act like a Firebird or something for most people. I think this is kind of the correct play, probably if you have a good forehand. But super easy to go OB in the road. So, yeah. I think either the grenade or the big hyzer is like the safer way. I just don't really quite know how to birdie this. The only other thing I can think of is just throwing a lower forehand and try to get in between those trees, maybe even under, and then get the flare toward the basket. Or I suppose you could get kind of a big high forehand. I'll show you the gap up here. There's just this whole solid wall here, but then you have to push another 80-90 feet past these. A little bit of a goofy skip here, but we'll, you can see my lie right there. Probably the safest way to play that. I just don't know how to play that for anything other than par. when it's so easy to skip OB, I guess there's more space back here behind it than I thought, but who knows. We're on hole 10. It's 291 straight ahead. Can get you right up there. Kind of just there to the left of the house behind the pine. 291 uphill. Need to get something turning in the house. Uphill at elevation. We're gonna flex the river. This will show you. I don't know how often you can flex a river, but that's what we're gonna do. And we'll see what altitude it does to it. Here we go. You can see the hill. The glide of that river bites the hill. I'm gonna grab my charger. The glide of the river, it's perfect. I love having them up in the mountains because it's flippy enough, you can glide enough, and slow enough. You can throw it uphill and get really good results. So, and if you notice, I actually put a decent amount of anhyzer on that, which normally would be the death of a river because it probably would never come back. But throwing uphill at way high elevation, it acts kind of like a straight fairway. Yeah, so we actually beat the sage that stopped me last time, and we have a look. Kind of. A little bit of a low branch. So here's where the problems come in. Normally be a little bit lean back. I think I'm going to lean a little forward. Kind of get my line of play a little lower. I want the disc to come out nice and low and flat. I don't get too much rise. Oh, I didn't get it up into the cave there. It needed. Oh, it's hard for me to get the putt to rise without getting a really high initial pop. Honestly wonder in that case if a straddle might be better. I don't know. That's kind of a bummer missed opportunity. Kind of a hard putt with the branch, but yeah, what can we do? Oh well. Okay, hole 11, par 4, 363. It wasn't a par 4 for our pool in the tournament. It was a par 3. There is a dog park just over the ridge here that was OB. The hole is way kind of straight, way down there. Oh, just to the right down there, where the truck is. So you can go a big flex down this thing, but there is a line of trees and a secondary gap to hit. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to bother with that. I've got the power. And the hill sets up pretty nicely for a large pushing hyzer. I threw actually a wave, and I got all the way up there. I almost had a putt, but just slightly obstructed. But one of my competitors tried to my line, did not make it over the dog park, so I had to take an OB stroke and come way back. And my other competitor went to the straight route and didn't get there. So this gives me a little bit of advantage here. Nice big pushing hyzer way out high left and let it just glide down the hill. So we're going to use the hill to get back to the pin. Okay. Pretty good, I think. A little more hyzer than I wanted. I wanted that to be a little bit flatter because of the angle I was throwing up at. And I wanted to push and then kind of come down the hill. But, you know, hey, here's the dog park. So you have to get it high enough and either inside or far enough to get over it. And then get past this line of trees into this open space. But you still got to push through this open space a little bit to have a look at the pin. Oh, it was really good. Okay. I actually got a pretty good push. This is actually almost where my wave landed as well. Pretty long putt. I think my wave was a little bit higher up. Pushed straighter before coming down. But pretty happy with this result. Nice wide open. It's about the spot I wanted. I wanted to try to get a little bit feet further into the 61 here. But this is a look. Oh. That just fell in the air. I thought I had it above the right side. I thought it was gonna dive in, and it just sort of fell out of the air. Altitude for you sometimes. I think I'm, what, 22 now? Go back and check here. I got that bogey. And then I got a couple birdies. And then not much since, have I? Oh, no, I did get another birdie on 8. Okay, so I think I'm 2 under, which is 2 ahead of where I was during the tournament. All right, hole 12, par 4. This actually was a par 4, even at 30-48. A bit of a soft par 4, but this uphill plays so much further. You can see the basket way up there on the hill pretty clearly. And this tree line is a decent amount of trouble. Bigger arms, and just hyzer over it, take the easy upshot, get an easy 3. But this 3 started my kind of good back run here. I think with the right discs and right throw, I could probably get there. But man, this plays probably 100 feet further. It probably plays like 50 with this and having to get over these trees. I only got the Bass, so I'm gonna try and just make sure we get it up over the trees and go from there. And that's super solid swing. Just a nice big hyzer. Oh, yeah, a little bit of sunset. Nice little zoom out here. Picturesque little upshot here. I almost jump putt this, give it a little run, maybe just a little flip. Trying to run it here. Oh boy, I had the line. Got a little squirt of juice in it. But yeah, it's pretty. As long as you hyzer over these trees, you can take a pretty good, easy stab at it. I think there might have been 1 or 2 twos from MPO, but or MA1 maybe. I forget which divisions played in this tournament, but yeah, this was kind of a musket birdie as well. And I parked it. Not as much danger once you get up here, so you can definitely run it from back there. Man, I would have liked that too. That would have been pretty dope. Alright, here's what gets a little confusing. Alright, I'm going to walk you into this one. You can see the basket down there. I don't know. I don't think this is the actual tee pad for this hole. This was the tournament tee pad here for hole 13. I think the actual tee pad is quite a bit easier. I think it's over here to the left somewhere. But this was the tournament tee pad, so I'm just going to play it. So you got this kind of gully, this line, you can see some flags out there. There's a line that goes straight down toward the basket, and then the road is on the left side. And they kind of come to a point at that cabin down there, like a V. And the basket is just in that, and it's all OB behind it. And the thing was to flex down this right side and get down this shape down this tunnel. So I think we're gonna give it a go. Back here just a little bit here. I'm gonna pull up the coupe. I'm gonna try to flex it down this right side. I almost did it in the tournament, but I just hit the backside of the second set of trees behind this big tree. I didn't quite see, but I think if I give this just a touch of flex, it should actually turn out pretty well here. That was a little higher than I wanted. So that, man, that thing is pretty stable up here. I really needed to commit to getting over on it, getting the flex and getting it down the hill. But I don't know, we'll see what we can do. I might run out of battery, but we'll try to get as much of this as we can. All right, so there's the trees to beat, and I caught that little pine, but this time I actually got the flex pretty darn good. And we are actually sitting really solid right now. I'm gonna try to go quick from here. Oh no, it's on that lot. Oh boy. All right, hole 14, 321. Got to perform in front of some people, so we're gonna try to flex it down there. Not too bad. Under pressure. had to perform for the crowds. All right, probably not the right disc. Honestly, that should have been the striker, but we are running super low on time, so I will take the result. It's actually not bad. This is a pretty hard birdie. I think I actually might have gotten this in the tournament. I can't remember, but yeah, super hard flex. We're running out of time, but I'll take the result under pressure. This Crute at this altitude just way too stable. I really liked the line out of my hand, but just not enough on. It's hard to get that distance when you're trying to give a distance driver a shorter range. Try to give this a run with the Envy here. Oh boy! Oh, that was on line 2. Dang. Dang, we almost got it. We almost got it. Line felt good out of my hand for how far away we are. Yeah, but I think the drive with the striker would have been perfect. I would have hit the gap, it would have held it straight. Probably would have landed me somewhere in here for a look. Unfortunate, but well, we gotta move on. Okay, 15, par 3, 345. It is kind of way down there. Right there, you can see it just to the left of that pine. It's hard to tell, but it gets pretty steep on the left side here, and right behind the pin, it actually drops right off really hard. It sets up pretty good for a big hyzer out to the right here. The problem is with this pine tree is kind of right in the line if you have a lower arm speed to get the hyzer on the right amount of power for that distance. I can kind of get past it and get high above it, let it come glide down the hill. So hopefully maybe we can get way up high up there and just kind of let it slow glide down the hill. That's why I'm going to go with the striker. I'm going to see if actually maybe on these longer distances, if this thing will actually kind of do a slower glide down the hill. Maybe get me some better distance here. All right, we got out there. Now let's just see if it comes down, slow glide down the hill. Ooh, I really liked that, but I ended up catching something back there. I think I'm in line with it, but maybe a little high. Okay, so we actually right in line with the pin here. There's so much sage right here, though. It was the right idea. I just needed to have a little more air under it, so it would have actually kind of had a chance to get closer to the pin. Trying to play for a skip with all this sage is not going to work. I wanted it to be just a touch higher. I just pushed it a little straighter, but that worked out pretty solid. I mean, I'll take a look at this. Bit of a death putt downhill, but nothing really. Wait a little further forward here. Oh, I didn't commit. I didn't commit to it. No. I thought the downhill would glide that a little bit. Oh, just didn't commit. But you can see how kind of quickly it drops off back here. So, yeah. Yeah. That's another one. We'll take the par. All right. I don't know if you can see it way down there. Big old elk. Big guy. I don't know if we'll be able to play 18 or not. We'll see. But we're here. Hole 16, par 4, 421. Really cool hole down this like tunnel valley here. It says par 4. It played as a par 4 in the tournament because the pin is actually way up left on kind of on the top of this hill, and there's no really way to get to it except for going straight down the path and then coming up. If you know, the further left you can push past those second set of trees way down there, so you need to get about 380, 390 and then kind of push left, the better. You can get some serious, you can kind of get a look at the two, but it's pretty far up the hill to the left. It's a pretty cool designed little par 4 here. I really enjoy this hole. It's just pretty to look at. And again, hopefully I don't disturb Mr. Elkway down there. Oh, big sucker. Yeah, we are gonna check one down there. I'm pretty sure he's like 600 feet away or so, so I'm not too worried about hitting him. Man, this Crute would be great for this, but I think at this altitude, this Fass is new enough that I can just hit this straight and get the carry down there, and it'll push left on its own, I think. We can just get a good yaw. If I give it just a little bit of height, maybe it'll get a little more left here. Oh, hit the gap. I'm coming left. And I think that's pretty much almost as ideal as you can kind of hope for. I think if you had a lot more power, maybe you could really flex something over stable down there. But you can see here's the set of pines I was talking about, where I want to push left. He's actually kind of toward, I'm going to have to throw over the top of him for the next hole. I mean, they're pretty chill up here to people, I think. They're pretty used to people. So I'm not too worried. But you never know. That's a big boy. I don't want him to come after me. But yeah, I think I pushed just inside of these trees, which is ideal. This little line right in here. Any more straighter? Yep. Okay. I'm right here. He's right there. He's being pretty chill. He looked at me. You can see I'm going up there. I'll actually put you a little bit back behind here. Hey, buddy. All right, I'm going up there. So I'm just going to pull out the putter and we'll take a soft bit at it. This is an ideal spot. This gives me the good right in the gap. Little chance to potentially get a 2. It's uphill. I can kind of go at it. Oh, a little nose up. Oh gosh. Oh, a little too nose up. A little too nose up. Oh, that was so close. That was so close. Oh, let's switch on the right line. Give you one more look at this guy. Beautiful big boy over here. All right, we're gonna walk up here and get my disc. You could potentially call it a soft par 4, but it's a good long placement shot and a good upshot. You need to put yourself in one of the right, so you can kind of climb over this hill too. If you're a smaller arm, it's gettable. I think it's fairly fair. All right, hole 17, one of the prettiest holes on the course. It's gonna be hard to see. It's 393. You can't really see it. So I'm gonna walk up on it. You can't really see it. But beyond these aspens, there is another grove of trees down there. It is right on the edge of it. I absolutely parked this in the tourney. I was so happy with my grace. I lost it, but 393 downhill, a little bit of a weird angle. We basically want to get right over the top of those aspens. This Vass is flying kind of close to my grace. It's really flying well up here. Not super flippy, but yeah, we are going to try to flex into that right above the aspens. Oh, you can actually see the pin from here. Look down this lane to the right here, straight ahead. There you can see the pin way down there. A little bit of angle, I think. Maybe you can see the finish, but you can see we need to get pretty far right or left. So, I mean, if you have massive power, you can pure hyzer that. I need to get it kind of flat to flatten out and push forward a little bit in this top gap above the aspens. So the Vass has been flying really good for me. So we're just gonna, very similar to my grace that I parked it with. I was so proud of that shot. Literally bullseyed it. Let's see if we can replicate it with the Vass here. Again, right above these aspens, straight. Let it finish out to the left there. Hopefully this angle you can kind of see the finish. Ooh boy, that's pretty good. Oh, I did it again. I did it again. Maybe not as parked, but that is really close. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's C1. Might have skipped out of C1, but it is down there somewhere by that pin way down there. Way back up on that hill. There's those aspens from the other direction. All the way down here. And we got our Vass in C1. So, not as parked as I was. That Orbit Grace pushed a little straighter. I ended up actually behind it there. But, pretty stoked we did it again. Let's go. That's a feel good too. And I did it again. Really liking this Vass so far. Really like it. This is a Casoplast destroyer for the masses. It's not super overstable, but it's not super flippy. It's definitely less flippy than the Grimex. Definitely. Aspen Grove we gotta finish in. This is walking up to the 18th. This kind of, I'd actually back up in here. There's the T-pad. Just enough light here to finish. We got some light on the clouds. I don't know if you can see them back there. The sun isn't all the way down yet, just behind the mountains. So we're doing all right. We do have a pretty good hike back up to the car. It's the one drawback of this. And you finish down here on 18. Okay, so 18, part 3, 740. So there's 2 holes here. So the 4 is rubbed out. The 3 is here at 399 or 344. The par 3 is pointing to this basket that's right here past these aspens. Now the tournament we played a basket that was way down to the left of that pine tree that's in front of that kind of tree that's lost its leaves down there. I'm going to kind of show you both. I'm going to throw it towards this one anyway. I landed right next to this basket for my drive for the tournament here. I keep hearing something over there. That elk is still over there somewhere. But he's not bothering us. Oh, and I don't have the driver. I threw a king, my new Orbit King. Oh, and I had it up high, and it was just cruising down there. There's a road right up here, high left, that is OB, so you do need to keep it up. And if you get too far right, that aspen grove is really thick. So yeah, I just don't have the driver that I threw, that king. And the vast Northern Crude is flippy enough to stay down. I could probably flex the vast, but instead I'm going to try to hyzer flip the river and just let it glide down this hill as long as it'll go. It probably won't get as far, but it might actually get me in the best spot, I think, out of the discs that I have. Let's see what we can do here. God, even that river is overstable. It's so wild that it doesn't hold that flight. This T-pad is just a little hard to get juice on. All right, I really thought this river would hold that line. I don't know if I just didn't throw it hard enough or what. I mean, we're pretty short of this basket. Not a bad position for the other basket. I'll throw one to both and we'll kind of pretend where the other one is going. But I need to shorten the leg here. All right. But yeah, unfortunate. Just not. I really didn't trust that Crute or the Vass even, just because the road, it's so easy to kind of fade out early, or I didn't want to try flex too. And it's an easy 3 on the normal 18, but for the far 18, the par 4 that was in the tournament, it's hard to tell, but you can see the solar light there. You needed to push past that and then start curving left. There's a bowl kind of down beyond this hill. And we're probably still 350-ish out. So big hyzer here with the Vass. From this angle, actually not too bad. The footing's a little wonky. I was actually down in the middle and I threw a great kind of nice line, but it ended up being like a foot low. So this, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I think that is exactly where the basket was. I'll show you when we walk it down there. Um, but yeah, the key was just getting the drive down here. Maybe I should have thrown the vest. I don't know. I could have. It just up here, that vest is pretty stable. You can see it went pretty far left, and I just didn't think I could get the angle to hold and not go like in the road. I really thought the river would just stay on that drift and float down here. I just didn't throw it hard enough. I think it was the right idea. But easy par finish there. And let's go see where that vase ended up. I'll show you where the extra basket was here for the par 4. So you can kind of see from here, there's these lights kind of make this big fairway. This used to be the hole. I'm not sure why they shortened it to there, because it does still look like they seem to be mowing it. I don't know what they're doing with this, but hey, you curve down here, and there's this natural little bowl in this grove, and it finishes right at the parking lot. So I don't know why they decided not to keep it. It's a pretty cool hole. Makes for a great par 4, like a nice long par 4. You got to get a good tee shot, not go too right behind the aspens. Can't go too left on the road. Go B. Okay, so here's the little bowl. So it was right kind of the back middle of this bowl. So my upshot in the tournament landed right here on this little edge that was kind of, if I would have been just a foot higher, I would have carried off of this edge, and I would have carried right down in here and would have parked it. And we'll see where the vase is. Okay, the vase is right there, and the basket was like right here. So, yep, that would have been a pretty good look. So I'm gonna putt right at you, and if I hit, if you feel the knock, I'm giving myself a birdie. Dead center, giving myself a birdie. Well, and there you have it. There's 18 holes at YMCA, the Rockies. Little hidden gem of a course up here in Estes Park, Colorado. And absolutely great resort. If you want a place to go, bring the family. They have cabins. You can see there's tons of hiking. There's tons of activities up here. And they have an awesome disc golf course. So come support the YMCA and play some disc golf while you're at it. You know, this is just an absolutely gorgeous place. You're just outside of Rocky Mountain National Park. You've got the town of Estes, Lake Estes. There's multiple lakes up here. There's another course actually on the golf course. There's 2 golf courses, and just the beauty up here is amazing. And I don't think enough people know about this course. It's a fantastic little course, as you saw. It's got some great lines, some nice challenging long holes. About the only drawback is, you know, you're on dirt tee pads, and there's a decent amount of hike between some of the holes if you're not that used to the altitude, especially like right here at the finish. You end up finishing down here by the entrance, and so you got about a mile walk back up to where the parking is. One strategy is you can actually leave a car down here at the lower lot and then shuttle up to the upper lot if you have multiple cars, or leave your car down here, walk up to start, and use the facilities up there at the Y. But yeah, awesome course. I just had to come up here and film it after I played it in the tournament. Again, I think I'll have to check the score. Might have beat it, might have been 5 down. Had a couple bogeys, but I had a few more birdies, so we'll have to check. Might have beat my score, depending. I'm going to count that last 18 as a birdie, because that was pretty awesome. So, yeah, there's the YMCA of the Rockies Estes Park Center course. Get up here in the mountains, play some disc golf. See you in the next one. Evening here, and I don't know if hopefully you can see this. It's pretty dark right now, but the herd has come to roost in the central grounds. Lots of evening activities going on here. And you'll get to see some elk, hear some bugling, and you can get pretty close to them. Another look, a couple of big boys right here. Oh, there's a